It's interesting how the mind behaves when the world slows down. During the day, your attention is scattered. There's noise, movement, small distractions everywhere. But at night, things feel different. The room gets quieter, your body relaxes, and your thoughts begin to drift. That's usually when the mind starts doing something strange. Memories appear, not the ones you expect, not the important ones, just small moments, random fragments from the past. And you're left wondering, why that memory? And why now? You might remember a look someone gave you, a sentence someone said years ago, a feeling that doesn't fully make sense anymore. It doesn't come with a clear story, just a mood, a sense of familiarity. And before you can understand it, it fades again. That experience is more common than most people realize. Most people think memory works like a recording, like a camera that stores everything exactly as it happened. But the brain doesn't work that way. It never has. Memory is not about accuracy. It's about survival. Your brain is constantly deciding what to keep close and what to push further away. Not because it's broken, but because it's careful. Think of your mind like a room with dim lighting. Some memories sit directly under the light. They're clear, easy to access. You can recall them without effort. Other memories sit just outside the light. You know they're there, but you can't see them clearly. And then there are memories that stay in the shadows. Not gone, not erased, just quiet, waiting. When something feels too intense, too emotional, or too overwhelming, the brain sometimes decides not to keep it fully visible, not to punish you, not to weaken you, but to protect you, especially when you're young, especially when you don't yet have the tools to understand what's happening. Instead of letting that moment replay over and over again, the brain softens it. It blurs the details. It separates the emotion from the event, so you can keep moving forward. That's why you might remember how something felt, but not exactly what happened. You remember the tension, the discomfort, the uneasiness, but the scene itself is missing. That's not an accident. That's your mind doing what it thought was best at the time. Hidden memories don't disappear. They still exist quietly in the background. They influence how you react, what makes you uncomfortable, what makes you feel safe. Sometimes they show up as habits, sometimes as patterns, and sometimes they show up as thoughts you don't fully understand. You might notice that certain situations make you uneasy for no clear reason. Certain conversations feel heavier than they should. Certain places make you feel tense. And logically, nothing bad is happening. But emotionally, something feels off. That disconnect often comes from memories you don't consciously remember, but your nervous system still recognizes. The brain doesn't always speak in words. Sometimes it speaks in feelings. A tight chest, a sudden urge to avoid something, a sense of discomfort that appears without explanation. These reactions are not random. They're echoes. And this is where people misunderstand themselves. They think something is wrong with them, that they're overreacting, that they're too sensitive. But often, their brain is responding to information stored quietly in the background, information that was never meant to be loud. It's also why the mind tends to bring up memories at night, when the world is quiet. The brain finally has space to process. There's less distraction, less pressure to perform, so thoughts drift more freely. And sometimes, something surfaces, not to disturb you, but to be noticed. The brain doesn't release memories randomly. It releases them when it senses safety, when you're calm enough, when the moment feels quiet enough. That's why memories don't usually appear in the middle of a busy day. They appear when you finally slow down, And here's something most people don't realize. You don't need to force these memories to come back. Trying too hard often makes the mind pull away even more. Awareness is enough. Simply noticing patterns, noticing reactions, noticing emotions without judgment. That alone begins to change how the brain responds. Hidden memories don't need to be exposed all at once. They're not puzzles that need to be solved quickly. They're signals, quiet reminders of how deeply the mind works to protect you. If you've ever felt confused by your own reactions, or wondered why certain thoughts appear out of nowhere, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means your brain is doing something very old and very human. The mind is not designed to explain itself clearly. It's designed to keep you moving forward. And sometimes, that means staying quiet about certain things. So the next time your thoughts drift unexpectedly, or a feeling appears without a clear cause, you don't need to fight it. You don't need to analyze it immediately. Just notice it. Sometimes that's all the mind is asking for. And maybe understanding that is enough for now.